finished a film which got her a Globe Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the lovely Anne Hathaway. I haven't seen you in a while here.
Well, it's kind of your fault. You need to invite me, you know.
Well, that's true. So how have you been? You got married, didn't you?
Yeah, I finally did, you know, and it was actually kind of hard of keeping it a secret because when I go to talk shows just like yours, I usually spill all of them.
So you go to a lot of talk shows? I guess then you're an expert and I can ask you anything.
Okay, yeah, come on, try me.
Okay, well, first of all, what other talk shows have you been in?
I don't remember them all, but I can name a few. I've been to Oprah, Larry King, and Jay Leno, just to say a few.
Whoa. I sense a bit of competence there.
Come on, you know you're my favorite.
Well, of course. So let me ask you something else. How do you think talk shows started?
Talk shows?
Talk shows.
Well, I think they started because Americans have this desire for TV shows that have people on them talking about other people. You know, they fulfill viewers' desires.
A desire? What do you mean?
Yeah, like our desire to do a downward comparison. You know, when you compare yourself with other people who are less intelligent, less rich, less well-dressed than you.
So you say talk shows satisfy, viewers need to watch other people that are less than them?
Yeah.
Well, you're kind of right.
Yay.
But besides those things, talk shows were developed after 40 years of television shows, practice and antecedents in radios and all this stuff. It was kind of the invention of the 20th century broadcast.
So you actually know more than me. You know?
Well, not for anything I wrote posts in the talk show. So, another thing, what do you think is the main theme of talk shows?
I think they talk about people, famous people.
Like you?
Like me, you know, am I famous? Who is Anne Hathaway? Do you know? Anyone do you know?
Oh, hey, come
Body
on,
girl.
Anne. Well, that's right. Talk shows are about famous people, but there are also talk shows about politics and sports. It's not only famous people. But I can assure you mine is the most interesting.
Oh, I know that thing. So, I calculate, you know, talk shows started around the 50s, but when did you start it?
Well, I started around the 90s when the talk shows stopped being so rigid, like more natural, like now.
Nice. And late night talk shows? What about them?
Well, they started around 1960s or 70s with the talk shows wars.
And what are talk shows wars?
Well, there was this time when my ratings went down, and I took a bomb to Leno's Late Show. I'm just kidding. It's like when hosts start competing for ratings for the views they have. That's war. So yeah. And so, what do you think? I'm a host.
I think you already know that answer, you know, but I think you're a host because you have a great comical ability, because you have a lively, quick-paced interview technique, because you have conversational skills, mainly because you're handsome. You know, all of those are qualities of hosts have, no?
Yeah, well, we also have to be like spontaneous.
I definitely see that.
Yeah, well, let's stop talking about me. Let's see what our audience questions are. Everybody can ask questions via Twitter, if you can.
Can we turn it the light up?
Yeah.
Carlitos, Carlitos, Carlitos.
Yeah. You can read the questions if you want.
Okay. I can't prepare.
Why are two hosts' names?
Well, that's because our names are so cool. No, I'm kidding. No, that's because the host is the main character in the show, so it's like our personality in the show. The next question.
Do late night talk shows have anything to do with why Americans do not get enough sleep?
Well, actually they do, because you know late talk shows are around 7 or 8 p.m. So that's why Americans can't have enough sleep. They have to watch these talk shows. The BBC News makes it popular, and it's a factor why Americans do not get the 7 or 8 hours sleep per night. 8 hours sleep per night. Another question? Yeah. Well, I think that's all. No. When is your next movie?
I'm coming with double M. Actually, it's gonna go Survival of Ivy. It's due June, so yeah.
Well, that would be our last question, Anne. Now that you're such an expert at late night show,
Are talk shows, especially late night ones, popular in the rest of the world?
there are some variations on what Americans have, American talk shows, but I think talk shows are most popular in the United States. In the UK, there's also talk shows, but you'll see more this kind of programs in the US. Well, that now is our last question. And so now that you're such an expert, you can host my next program. Don't you think?
It sounds tempting, but I think you do a way better job than me.
Well, thank you for the compliment. It's always a pleasure to have you here, Anne.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Amy.
Bye.